LoveLine is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's LoveLine.
1-800-LOVE-191.
With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Are you insane?
Hey, y'all. Welcome to LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician.
Nice.
I'm coming undone.
Really?
Oh.
You all right?
Hungover.
Oh,
Huge.
Oh, you and Dooley.
Oh, Dooley. Dooley's got a problem. I came home. I had a good sense to go to bed. You know what I found outside of my porch this morning?
Jägermeister.
Big mug of booze. You know you're drunk when you pour yourself a mug of scotch? Like, you know what I'm talking about?
You didn't drive home.
No, not Dooley. He drove home some hours later.
Engineer Mike. I don't know if everybody knows what Dooley means.
Oh, I'm sorry, Engineer Mike. So here's what I find outside. A big mug of booze and my phone.
Oh, God.
So these are little... you learn the little drunk tells, like when a guy's... like a guy plays poker. You can kind of tell when he's
kind of person.
Bluffing or what his hand is. You can always tell that. I could always tell it from years of living with roommates who booze. If I showed up and the... remote to the VCR was in the fridge or something. I said, okay, someone's been boozing. So Dooley and I went out after the TV show last night.
Yeah, was that yesterday?
Yeah. And I showed Dooley a good time. And you thank Dr. Drew, too, because $20 worth of that booze was his. But you did give me $20 to take Dooley out, didn't you?
Yes.
All right. And we're about even. But... although you didn't drink. But, what happened to me is I didn't drink that much. I had 3 drinks. I had 3 drinks over the course of about 5 hours. And I used to teach the traffic school, and I remember the little breakdown. You can drink a cocktail an hour pretty much, but not for 24 hours usually. But you can go out and do that. I had 3 drinks in 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I was jacked up in a big way. And then I realized this morning what the hell was going on. It was those antibiotics.
Oh, I told you not to drink on that.
I know, but I thought you were just kidding.
Oh, my God.
You say that when you always say so much stuff, Drew. I don't know which part, when you're lying and when you're not.
Oh, my God.
And I took another one just before I left the house to go out with Dooley.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Did you throw up?
No.
Okay.
Not last night. Certainly didn't. But, oh, man. Wow. It was like taking a Quaalude or something.
Yeah.
What is that? I took one at the TV show with you at 5?
Yeah.
4:30?
Right.
And then Dooley, Mike, Engineer Mike and myself were leaving my house at about 9:15 at night, and I was putting a little...
It worked. Your jaw's down.
It is?
Yeah, it looks to me.
Yeah, it's because I popped my jaw, basically. Now, those who are squeamish, please don't listen. But I was rubbing a little Orbicel, whatever that stuff is. And I basically, things started draining on me.
Oh, boy.
It was at that point that I took the second antibiotic. So now I have 2 in about a 4-hour period. And my stomach's empty. And then I went and boozing.
Nice.
And, boy... It screwed me up, but I couldn't figure it out because I was thinking to myself, hey, it's
Plus,
been...
we hadn't slept. When's the last time we slept?
Okay,
come on.
Together. It's been, 5 hours. I've had 3 drinks. What's wrong with me? Anyway. So I haven't been right yet today, but Dooley, who was supposed to sleep over, I found a note scribbled on a cocktail napkin on my front porch this morning that was like he took a piece of charcoal or something and wrote, decided to go, see ya.
And he looks pretty chipper this morning.
Yeah,
I think the way he behaves most nights.
Well, he got drunk Friday night, too, and I think he's used to it. He's built up some sort of tolerance. Well, I didn't even drink that much. Dooley was going to town. So,
that's nice.
Anyway, see, that's the difference between guys who really drink and guys that don't, which is when we got home, I said, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And the room's spinning. And Dooley said, let's have a drink. Yeah. I said, Dooley, you've been doing nothing but drinking the entire evening. How much drunker can you get? You're on the vomit threshold. And as it turns out,
That was cranberry juice, by the way.
It was?
With very little vodka.
Oh,
Okay,
it smelled like plenty of vodka in
It
there.
has little. It doesn't count.
In a big like Starbucks mug.
That's
too,
called
which is
denial.
funny.
That's
Your kitchen's so unorganized, I couldn't find any glasses. Either that or
Classic.
there weren't any clean ones.
classic denial.
Yeah.
It was just cranberry juice. A little bit of vodka. Cranberry juice.
Oh, just a hair from the dog that humped him. The dog that sodomized him. James.
Yes.
Hey, you're 21.
Yes, I am.
What's going on there?
Well, I had a question for you and Dr. Drew. I'm what you would call a zoosexual.
What is that?
I have consenting and loving relationships with animals.
Consenting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They just put their little paw print on the bottom of the contract that your lawyer drafted?
No, I just don't have to do anything. You know, when they're ready to have sex, they let me know, and I let them.
Mm-hmm. They let you know by telling you it's time to spread liverwurst on your penis so that they can lick it off?
No. They lick my penis just because they're being nice.
Yeah, but here's the thing about dogs,
Mm-hmm.
James. Dogs lick shoes, they lick penises, they lick whatever's put before them.
Yeah, I know. It makes it a bit handier, but, you know.
All right. Now, is it just oral sex that you're having?
And anal.
Oh, and anal.
Yeah.
So you actually let the dog mount you?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I was kidding.
Everybody thinks I'm joking, but...
No, we don't think you're joking. Do we think he's joking?
I'm flabbergasted.
What kind of dog do you got?
It's an Akita Shepherd mix.
Ooh, that's a good-looking dog.
I know.
Yeah, very handsome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if I was going doggy gay, I go the Akita Shepherd mix.
Good choice.
It's so bizarre.
And you never perform oral sex on the dog, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. And how's that for you?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It really, when I first started to do it, it really was a fulfillment. It was what sex was supposed to be that everybody had been hyping for me all these years, and I finally found it.
Right.
Right.
And let's see what my next question
I'm just curious
for James
what
is.
creates the. I'm not.
I don't believe this is. I don't believe this is the exploitation of animals. By the way.
Well,
Oh, please. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The whole notion of animal rendering consent is already way out of.
Okay, that's dicey
But-
at
but-
best.
but-
I don't know a dog that wouldn't like a blowjob.
All right.
I really don't.
All right.
I do have a question.
Well, no, I have some questions for
People
you.
get really, hold on one second. I got a thing or two to say. People get really passionate when it comes to the topic of animals or insects or any living, breathing creature other than human beings. They get really passionate. Like, for instance, Drew, I don't know if you saw it, but I got a huge stack of mail and faxes and whatnot about what to do with my dog and how to potty train it. I got books
Oh my God.
sent to me about what to do with my dogs. I've never gotten so much off of a topic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For some reason, people take a lot of energy that I believe they have stored up for humans,
Yes.
and they put it into dogs.
Right.
And they get real passionate about certain issues.
Right.
And they start crying when they're talking about spotted owls and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, they got a kid they haven't seen in 5 years.
Right.
Right?
Right. They can't establish the same kind of feeling intimacy with people.
Right.
It's too painful.
So anyway, all you who think that James is should be drawn and quartered for what he's doing with the dog, get over it.
Well, all right, hold on. But I know nothing about this.
I think the
topic,
dog's using James.
and I'm curious what creates this. So I just want to know about you, James. Okay?
Okay.
Because sometimes LoveLine becomes a laboratory for me. It's where I learn.
Right.
So what was your
And a lab it would become like a date for James.
not Labrador, a laboratory?
Oh, okay. Right.
What kind of family system did you have?
My parents are divorced, and they have both remarried.
And how old were you when they divorced?
I was about 12 in third grade.
Did you have brothers? 12 in third grade?
Or third grade, I don't know what age I
You
was.
must have kicked some ass in Saco, I'll tell you that.
No, that would be 8. Age 8 would be
Okay,
third
8.
grade.
I was 8. I'm sorry.
Do you remember your childhood?
Yes, I do.
Anything happened during your childhood?
Nothing significant, no abuse, no severe traumas or anything of
What
that.
kind of people were your parents?
My mom's a poet, my dad's a carpenter. Me and my dad's relationship is sort of rocky, but we've patched things up. We just don't do a lot together. You know, we're not friends.
What was the problem with the relationship?
No problem. Nothing significant.
What-
Nothing with my mom. Me and my mom get along great.
It was rocky. What was the problem?
Well, basically, my dad was the one who cheated on my mom.
Uh-huh.
And I went to go live with my mom, and I lived with my mom for a number of years, and I held up a lot of hate towards my dad because he wanted me to live with him. But that was his way of showing love, and I just now realized that was his way of showing love.
What was?
James.
Yeah.
By the way, if your dog, what's your dog's name?
Brute.
If Brute was sniffing another dog's ass, would you consider that cheating?
No.
No, okay.
Do you have relationships with people?
Not now.
Are you gay or straight?
Bi.
Bi.
When it comes to humans, at any rate, I'm not really attracted to humans, but if I'm going to have sex with them, I'll go bi.
But you're gay when it comes to dogs?
Not exclusively. That's just what I prefer.
Well, I'd say that makes you gay. When you're sucking off a collie, I think that makes you a gay dog guy. But maybe it changes from breed or animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever had I don't know, pony or something?
No, I haven't.
No.
I've met plenty of people who've had. I've just had no real good opportunity. I don't want to go hopping some fence.
I mean, is there some sort of organization with the people?
Oh, yes. I've met many other zoos across the country. There's online chats for it and everything.
Yeah, you could go to like a petting zoo and like rape a goat or something?
Well, not in public. That's sort of stupid.
You know, though, Drew, let me explain something about the goat love. It's a new campaign.
Oh.
Nah means nah. I'm cracking my own crap up today.
You were punchy.
I am.
But James, without having any understanding of I don't want to comment on the right or wrong elements of what you're doing. I really
are you using protection?
No need.
No.
All right.
Okay.
But I can tell you for sure.
Sherry's disgusted over there, by the way.
That this is
she
not
loves animals.
A route to happiness or fulfillment. That it is really humans need other humans, and when that goes wrong,
I know I need other people, but all I need is friendships from them. I mean, when I discovered that I was a zoo and when I started having sexual relations, it was for me a fulfillment. For me.
How are there many that are into this? I mean, do you have a strong? Are they bigger in the NRA?
Well, it's not definitely bigger than the NRA, but we are connected and we do know one another, and I get helpful hints, techniques, support. I'm going to get a puppy this December, things like that.
Now Sherry's beside herself now. Oh my God! Oh, this is excellent. And can you imagine walking in? Dad's walking in. He's got the tool bags over one shoulder and a six-pack over under the other arm, and he's rolling in. Hey, so the dog is giving a little backdoor action to James.
Your dad never smacked you around or anything?
Never what?
Hit you?
No.
All right, here's what we want to say, and we may make your call the topic of the first hour on this show because this is way too interesting. But here's what we're getting at, James.
Okay.
And you help us. We, and not only Drew and myself, but most of our listeners, I would reckon to say all of our listeners, think that this is bizarre and devious.
Okay.
And repugnant behavior.
Okay.
And we're wondering what could have happened in your life that got you to sort of turn the corner.
Okay.
And we're all assuming that it had to be something, some event. We're actually praying it was something because Drew has 3 kids. And if you tell him, the dad watched too much TV or spoke on the phone too much or something, Drew's going to go home and kill himself because that means potentially one of his kids could. Did you watch the new Zoo Review when you were a kid?
The what?
Okay. That's good.
Or maybe we should begin a quest to determine the biological predisposition for it. Maybe the pineal gland's a little small.
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yes, I have.
How'd that go? How'd that go?
She was a bitch?
Well, in some ways, basically what happened was that she was a bit too controlling, and I reminded her of an old boyfriend, and it just sort of fell apart. I never wanted the relationship to go anywhere.
So you want a relationship with people or things that can't say anything back?
Well,
that's
no,
why you have.
They don't say anything back, but there's a rich emotional dialogue. I mean, who says you need...
You are the weirdest,
wacko,
psycho
Hold on. We talked to a lot of people that...
Let's not be judgmental, Ann.
This is not our
Let's
job
hear him
to,
out
to
now.
judge.
Drew, please.
No. We talk to a lot of people that hurt other people, and we don't attack them. You know what I mean?
Well, the animal can't say anything.
I know, but
The animals. Look,
I can say my 2 cents,
Yes, you
and I
can.
think
Yes, you
you're a
can.
total and complete loser, James.
Well,
all right.
now,
but
Ann,
Ann,
let's
let's be fair. If the collie had a wallet,
I
he
would like to see an elephant enter you.
She steps
dork.
on my comedy just as much as you do.
Just give me some time. I'm sure I can work out.
But we want to find more about him. All the years in this
All
show.
right, Ann,
this has been-
go take a shower or something.
What are you
there.
sticking up for this idiot?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
your
just
poor little Greta or whatever you're going to call your dog.
Yeah.
no. We're just curious. We just want to know.
Hey,
okay?
maybe I can start getting some of that money back
I'll
for
have
Greta.
to-
What would you pay for a young virgin, German Shepherd?
Well, I know other zoos, and I'll get one of their litter. I don't have to really pay anything.
Look, I will. Let me look this up. Let me look this topic up and find out what actually the theories are as to what causes people to do this. One thing we can tell. And
Kinsey doesn't say much about it.
what?
Kinsey.
No, that's not where I'm going to go. This is going to be in the psychoanalytic literature.
Yeah, he's more the Marlon Perkins route on this one than the
but
psychoanalytical one.
I mean, there are theories about what makes people want to have sex with dead people and what makes them want to cut themselves and what people have sex sadomasochistic behavior.
I'll answer the dead person one. They can. It's usually all falls. We're not hanging up on James yet, but most of this has. Here's the through line. They can. Now listen, and don't give me any of that psycho jargon. Just listen to me. Your average 21-year-old guy, if he could go break him off a little piece of Claudia Schiffer or Cindy Garvey, what the hell am I trying to think of?
Crawford.
Cindy Crawford, he'd be doing it. But listen, he can't even get the fat neighbor girl to look at him twice. They do what they can, and they're tired of rejection, and they're tired of trying.
It turns out to be some very, very heavy feelings
is
about
James just
people.
really ugly? Is that it? It has no personality?
No, I think James...
he's scared of people.
He hates people. He hates people, basically.
But he loves dogs.
Well, let's see if he knows that, if he's aware of that.
What, that he's ugly?
No, that he doesn't like
please.
people. James?
James?
Yeah.
My only thing I can say is that you must have difficulty really connecting with people or even hate people.
No. I could say right now I had 2 girls that were very interested in me this term. I'm going to college, and I basically didn't pursue the relationships. We're still good friends. I have a huge
but you're you're very. I mean, I pick up on the level of detachment.
You're going to what are you pre-law?
No, I'm going into physics.
Oh, okay. So I would think this guy would be a lawyer, screwing people that way. Or I mean animals that way. They're going into physics.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get into teaching yourself one day. That's good. Yeah, James kind of guy you want molding the youth of America.
But you pick up on that detached quality. Is that
Of
just me?
course, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go look it up and see what's going on with this.
All right, James.
James, James.
James should hang on. We should check in with James.
All right, I actually
tonight.
appreciate this call because we have had people over the years call and spoof this, right?
Yeah.
Right. And this is the real. You see how different the real thing is than the spoofs.
Well, James has the same thing that all, I don't know if we want to call it an antisocial people have, but it's the same vibe I get from guys who can't get dates, which is a sort of calculated, every word is chosen very carefully, and they're intelligent.
Detached.
And they're totally detached, and they have no affect,
Yeah.
and they spend a lot of time on the computer and a lot of time reading, and they have a great arsenal of words from which they can choose to defend themselves and their actions. But ultimately, they'd give it all up for a chick, a six-pack, and a Camaro.
No.
Yes.
I don't think he's...
Yes.
I disagree.
All
I
right,
don't think
El
they have the
Camino.
capacity.
El Camino.
They don't have the capacity for that.
But Drew, say it's wrong.
It's wrong. Oh yes,
Okay, thank
listen.
you.
I'm sorry.
Not yet said that.
Well, I don't want to. I didn't want to get into right and wrong because the people are
But
going
it's
to.
so obvious
I
here.
understand that, but then people are going to say to me, "You weren't tough enough on him." I'm like, okay, let's not get into the right wrong element of this. Let's
people
just
are
talk about how peculiar and what causes people to do this kind of stuff.
Well, listen, from a societal standpoint, it's a far cry better, I would say, what James is doing than the ones who get their girlfriends knocked up and split. It may be a little more unconventional, and it may sound a little grotesque, but really think about it from a societal standpoint.
Hey.
If a guy wants to stay home and blow his collie, hey, more power to him.
Substantially,
I don't think he's blown him, though.
It's substantially.
Yeah, he was doing that, too. Yeah.
It's substantially.
Two.
Yeah. It's substantially less troubling than the aggression and violence people carry out on one another every day.
Right. Okay. Karen.
Yes.
Hey, you're 22.
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Recently, within the last week, I've developed this fetish for causing myself pain. I took a razor and I sliced myself up, and this turned me on so much that I masturbated right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really starting to scare me.
Just better hook her up with James. Oh, boy. All right, Karen,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
What?
You get some Bactine. We're going to go to break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to sort out this whole mess, all right?
Okay.
All right.
LoveLine will be right back. Why? Because we like you.
Hey there, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That be Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191.
Yes, sir.
And it's back to the phones we go. Karen.
Karen cuts herself and gets sexual arousal from that.
It's a lot of. I think this is the season for cutting. It's a lot of cutting going
Well,
on.
different kinds of cutting, and this is of a fetishistic quality, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it really. Have you ever done any other funny stuff?
Besides
Fetish-wise?
that, no.
I mean, what fetishes really are behaviors that allow someone to function sexually, or at least in a more gratifying way sexually. Do you have any sense of what this does for you?
Well, what do you mean by that?
What are the feelings that come out with it, or what it seems to be doing for you? Are you aware of it? Are you not aware of anything going on? You don't have any images that it conjures up or anything.
Images, no, just a feeling of satisfaction.
Yeah. Have you ever cut on yourself before?
Once before this, many months ago.
Were you trying to hurt yourself then, or was that the same thing?
Oh, no, I was just trying to hurt myself then.
Okay.
How?
Are
I was just thinking of James again and the.
Don't do it.
And the oral part of his love
know.
with the dog, and I have a question for him regarding that.
All right, well, we'll go back to it.
Okay.
But
Focus, Adam.
Sorry.
What else going to do, Karen? Have you had a long history of stuff going on?
No. Actually, I have no idea where this is coming from. The sexual arousal started just within this last couple of weeks.
How badly do you cut on yourself?
Not very badly. It heals very fast, and it doesn't leave deep scars.
Okay,
do you do fine cutting? Do you do a lot of
like origami on yourself?
No, like a lot of little superficial kinds of cuts?
Little superficial cuts. No, I don't get into artwork.
There is a theory. I've got a book for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's called Female Perversions by a woman by the name of Louise Kaplan. And I really thought it was a very well-done book. You can probably get it in virtually any bookstore right now.
Okay.
And she talks about what's called fine cutters. And she has a theory that this is a repudiation of your femininity, that there's some unresolved issues in relation to your identity and your object relation with your mom that when you start to menstruate becomes overwhelming. And this is a way of sort of...
All right, but how does that help you?
How does that help her?
Yeah.
It talks in referring her to the book. I mean, it's pretty complicated stuff, and she can discuss it, can get the information in detail by reading the book. In terms of what's going on with Karen, I suspect...
I say she gets a book and reads it in the therapist's waiting room.
Sure. I think that'd be preferable. Get some real help.
All right, Joe, I'll just go ahead and pick the next call.
Well, we were going to go back to James, you said.
Oh, we were? That's right. Sorry.
You
James.
you and I've never felt such animosity from you than yesterday when you find out I was going to do that interview.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Drew's going to do 20 questions with Playboy. Can you believe that bastard?
And I thought he was going to, deck me.
He's doing the Playboy. I mean, that is a huge... that's a coup, doing 20 questions in Playboy. It's like, De Niro does that. And when they want to talk to Drew, they should give you 15 questions. You're not 20 questions. Or I should be able to answer 3 of the 20. Huh, what are those
I'm surprised
numbskulls
they're letting
thinking
you
of?
do that.
Who? Over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not?
They knocked down another interview.
Oh, for Swank?
No, Penthouse.
Oh, didn't?
Oh, no, that's different.
But Drew did that one with Black Tail, right? No, wait a minute. That was Dooley. That's right. Oh, no, and he was just looking at it. Okay. It's all coming back to me now. Now, James.
Yes.
All right, so you're the zoosexual.
Yes.
Most of the reason I want to talk to you is because I like to look at Sherry when we're talking, because Sherry loves animals.
Yes.
And she is a very passionate and compassionate woman, Sherry, the phone screener. And she gets a look on her face like she bit into a kumquat that had been left in the trunk of a car for a year whenever I speak to you, James. Uh-oh. Now the mic's swinging. Now, please, let's not be hasty and judgmental. But, James, here's the question I had. You let the dog perform oral sex on you, right?
Yes.
And to the point of climax?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And what happens then?
Well,
does the dog swallow?
some do. Brute doesn't. The one I haven't.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Yeah, he's classy. And what about when you perform on him?
I don't do that very often. There's a lot of difficulties with that. I just do that.
Of course. You're so selfish. You know? Men are all alike.
Please, Ann.
And what do you have to put on it to make him lick it?
Nothing.
Yeah,
you don't
right,
put
you
anything
kid.
on you?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what does this make you feel? I'm just curious. What is this,
I think he's a pig.
No. But
Ann
it's
doesn't like
interesting how
men.
it gets down into a male-female thing there, right? Is it all
No,
men
I
are
was just like
this?
the whole.
All men are
No,
like this.
I was going on a whole thing that he will receive, but he won't give.
I mean, was
type
that you've been trying to be funny? Or was that actually what that evoked in you?
No, I was trying to be funny.
Okay.
I don't know. It felt like a little passion.
And of course, that your bitch won't say anything back, right? Because she can't.
I see. So the symbolism does get a little bit blurred here.
Hey,
No, I'm just.
Do you
having
ever?
fun with this idiot.
And by the way, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I share
I'm seeing
your
another
sensibilities.
side of
Yeah.
Drew here,
Yeah.
defending this idiot.
Defending.
No, I'm not. I'm just. I'm afraid.
Face it, Drew. You love this kid.
No, you know what it is? It's almost like if you came across some kind of a find, and I'm afraid we're going to scare
Well,
it
it's
off.
like in the movie
I'm really afraid
Alien
we're
when they
gonna-
found that thing down there. They didn't just blast away with it. They had to for research purposes. You have to take a look at these things so that other zoosexuals can benefit. James, I'm with you, buddy.
James, why are you calling?
My question was that most people I tell have a severe reaction, much like you are.
No kidding.
And I just wanted to figure out what was going through their minds when you do that. I don't understand it. I thought Drew and Adam would have no problem with this and just begin to converse with me, but obviously...
You think this is normal?
Yes.
You do?
I've met enough people who do this. I myself have done this. We seem perfectly...
How many people?
30.
Okay, that's tons.
In real life and online, many more than that.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
I thought Drew and myself have been fairly open-minded about this whole activity.
You have been.
Thank you.
And that's why I'm calling, is that I was hoping that you could explain to me why most normal people get upset about this.
I'm scared to speak in front of Ann, Sherry, and Lisa for fear they'll think whatever comments I have are directed toward them, and then I'll catch crap in the hall. But people, as I said at the beginning, feel very passionate about animals in general, and anything that has to do with an animal gets people's dander up. When I did that goddamn kids do the stupidest barnyard stunts thing for that TV show, Ordinary Extraordinary, there was a scene during the news part that I did. This was that ill-fated CBS show I did about 6 months ago, where they took a rhino beetle and they strapped a weight to it and they put it on a little conveyor belt to measure how much weight the rhino beetle could carry. Because as it turns out, the rhino beetle is the strongest animal or insect on Earth. It can carry 40 times its own weight. They had to cut that segment because after testing, people were so outraged that they would exploit a rhino beetle whose life consists of rolling a ball of hippo flop around the Gobi Desert for a number of days before a buzzard eats it. But these pathetic a-holes who sat home couldn't stand to see the rhino beetle on the treadmill.
But here's what I think is happening, and James.
Even though they abuse people they work with on a daily basis, I'm sure.
There's two things. Anna and Sharon, would you tell me if I'm correct on this? One is that it is an acting out of taking advantage of defenseless whatever.
Right. It's an exploitation.
That's the way it's sort of perceived. And the second thing is, and this is why I think I was curious that Ann brought it back to a male-female thing, it really highlights how much men can reduce sex to these physical, primal, purely.
Yeah, women wouldn't do this.
I mean, you understand?
No way.
It's offensive to a woman because it doesn't. Women who do this?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
It's a
there's a
normal
handful,
woman.
but
It's
not many.
offensive because there cannot be the nurturing connection that is necessary for them in order to experience sex.
No.
While men, it can be with whatever.
Unless they can train the dog to buy jewelry.
No,
and then you got to...
Ann, do you think that's
oh,
right?
Oh, boy, look at the girls.
Okay.
And wait, hang on a second, James.
No, I definitely see your point.
Is that right? Those two things?
Yeah, the first one more so.
The taking advantage of the defenseless.
Something that's very innocent.
I mean,
and-
by the way, James, child abusers talk this way about kids too. That I'm helping them and I'm saving them and they enjoy it. They seem to enjoy it so much. And the fact is that we know it has extremely deleterious effects on the kids.
All right. But, most people have no problem with, and if you're going to go out and get a dog spay or neutered or something like that, then this is it's just a step down from that. I mean, think about it. I mean, what's more traumatic to a dog, the blowjob or getting the testicles lopped off? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. James?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I think in a nutshell. There's something seriously wrong with James, and you don't want to get in touch with that.
I will.
But, all right, hold on. But as far as the damage that's done to James' dog, Brutus, I'm sure it's the happiest dog on the block. I really do. I really do.
Well, really, we'd actually have to study it to know. And if somebody knows what happens to animals,
Why? What pleasure would the dog get?
We don't know.
Licking this guy off,
well, because
or having this guy enter him.
No, the dog enters him.
Enters him.
How does he make him do that?
He says he does. And let me tell you, a dog can enter...
He doesn't enter the dog.
Dog enters a beanbag chair and a dog is happy.
believe that.
Imagine entering James. Well, listen, the dog doesn't know. Dog's having the time of his life. You kidding? Come on, Ann.
This is just so whacked.
Ann, we're
and
just asking you
warped.
to open your mind a little.
Did this happen today?
No.
The day you come in with half a brain?
I know.
Why today?
I don't know. All right, listen, we're going to go to break. We'll keep James around the whole night. He may be our new mascot.
No.
And we'll get more into this as the... No, wait, Drew, why don't you sell the hell out of the next call?
All right, we'll go to Art. He can't breathe when he has oral sex.
Oh, great. Okay.
The phone number for LoveLine, 1-800-LOVE-191. Call now, all you sick kids. LoveLine will be right back.
Well, the debate rages on here amongst the staff at the fabulous LoveLine headquarters. Is what should be done with James? Drew and I we're more passionate or compassionate about James. We acts to his own dog than to do bizarre acts to the neighbor's kid or the neighbor's dog, for that matter. Ann, Sherry, and Lisa would like to see him strung up. Sherry and I were talking about phone screen share, that is, or about exploitation, and that was one of our arguments. I argued that all we do is exploit animals, and we put a mule out in the field and they drags around a hoe or a what the hell they drag around. I'm from North Hollywood. I know they drag something heavy around for 8 hours. Hey, I'd rather get the oral sex if I was a dog.
Sex without emotional connection is a very...
I think James loves the dog more than a lot of guys love their girlfriend.
Yeah, but their sense is...
Oh, the dog doesn't love
They're
James.
sensing what's really going on here, where there's some real serious, heavy, negative affect
Sherry said,
being displaced over the animal.
Sherry said, what if he got the hots for a chihuahua? He would kill it. I wouldn't.
But he's not harming. He's not trying to harm anybody.
No.
I mean, the children... I mean, people... start oftentimes their weirdness on animals. They start killing animals before they start killing people.
Here's a good point, by the way, which is maybe James' behavior should be nipped in the bud because eventually he's going to get tired of humping his dog and move on to
people.
Or the spotted owl, perhaps.
Right, and just because somebody doesn't mean any harm doesn't mean that they're
Yeah,
not
see,
causing
I
it.
think that's what you guys are picking up on, the fact what's underneath that is
Right.
spooking you.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll check back with James periodically. He's probably got the peanut butter out as we speak. Art.
Hey.
Hey, you're 17.
Yeah, I got a problem.
Right.
Every time I give my girlfriend oral sex, I cannot breathe.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm too anxious or what, but
Do you know what a Valsalva maneuver is?
no.
I pulled that one the other night on Dooley.
Did a Valsalva?
Yeah. He dozed off on the sofa. I gave him the old Valsalva. You know?
No.
I woke up with $10 in my underwear.
Valsalva is where you're bearing down very hard.
Yeah, that was it.
Holding your breath and bearing down.
What I did.
And that can get, you can sort of get into, like people in the exercise sometimes do too much of that. And so when you're exerting yourself, people don't remember to breathe.
There's a Valhalla maneuver where you blow a Viking.
All right.
Well, I didn't know if it was because last time I went to the doctor, they said I might have asthma.
Okay.
And I smoke too, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, then that's the other thing, that it could be triggering what's called bronchospasm. Does it continue after the orgasm?
No.
It's just while you're building up to that. Do you breathe? Do you think about taking deep breaths and remember to breathe?
I don't think that's going through my mind.
Okay. Well, why don't you focus on that? I'm sure there's nothing about the
Did you
act.
say he had a deviated septum? Maybe
No,
that's it.
But there's nothing about the act that really would trigger any sort of cardiopulmonary problems unless, I mean...
Can you breathe through your nose pretty good?
Oh, yeah.
Do you pass out?
No, I never got to that point, but it's just like I got to stop because I can't breathe. His face is turning blue and I feel like I'm going to pass out, but it's never got to that point yet.
And if she stops, you're immediately able to breathe and take a deep breath?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. If she stops?
No, if I stop.
Hey, Jack Hole.
Oh, I was I was misinterpreting what?
Well, you're so busy not getting my jokes that you missed the whole direction of the call.
So it's when you're doing it to her?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, now you deal with the guy. This is kind of a silly thing.
Well, this is it's like listen. Here's what it is. Oral sex is a lot like freestyle swimming. It takes quite a few laps in order to get that timing down just right, where you don't have to yank your whole head out of the water, take a gulp of air, and slow yourself down.
And he must
have to do the smooth, steady strokes and time it just right, where you turn your head just above the water line, take some air. I mean, it's rhythm, it's a pattern, it's experience. That's all. And James Hart's thumping a little bit. And that's what's going on.
And he clearly has some sort of nasal obstruction. I mean, that's the thing. If he could breathe through his nose more,
He said he could breathe through his nose.
He doesn't. Maybe
James,
not effectively.
True, you thought he was talking about something else the whole time.
The
so
whole
don't give me
time.
that crap.
Well, no, you were right. You brought up the septal deviation. That could well be it.
Well, Lord knows that's my excuse. Nick.
Hello?
You're right.
Hello?
Nick, what's going on?
Hey, I love you both. I think you guys are awesome.
Thanks.
I had a quick question for you, and then I had a quick comment. My question was, are you ever going to get Sarah McLachlan on?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think?
Oh, let's
We
just
have tried several times.
She's the best. If you could get her on, that would be so great.
We're working on it.
That would be
We'd love
great.
that.
Okay, and my comment is, last week I was listening to you guys, and some caller called, and you thought that he was gay or something like that, and you start somehow talking about the rainbow stickers and rainbow flags that go on the cars or the houses or whatever.
Well, it's like the gay flag.
Yeah, the gay flag thing. Okay,
Right.
and one of the things that Adam had said was that it was like a dating mechanism for gay guys, and if
Right.
if they see each other on the freeway, then they pull off and go to a Motel
They
6.
they have sex right in the bushes,
Yeah, right in
by
the-
the side of the freeway.
Yeah, okay. Well, that that pissed me off so bad because that's not what it is. It's like
It's a political thing, right?
it's more like self-pride. Like if I have a rainbow peace sign on my car, and it's like I am proud to be who I am and how I got there. And you guys kind of helped me out with that before because I called before when I was having problems with stuff.
Right. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm fine now. Everything's cool. I've accepted that I'm gay and all that, and
Good.
that is so not what that's for. And
All right,
I
but-
see other people on the freeway with those flags or stuff like that, and I'm like, cool, that guy's gay too, or
Right.
stuff like that.
Maybe
But
I get some.
it's not like I want to get out and get my funk on with them or anything,
All right, but listen, a couple of things I have to say to that. First off, when you're gay and you're 10% of the population or 7% of the population or whatever the hell it is, it's important to know who's what. It is. I mean, that is something that's important because if you just randomly go around and try to start up relationships, you're going to run into. That's why they have gay bars. Part of being in a gay or having a sort of healthy little gay society, I think, is being able to know who your comrades are, whether it be sexual or not. But Nick, if you're driving down the street, you see a guy flying the Jolly Roger on the back there, you pull up next to him, and he's looking pretty damn cute, and he's looking about your age, tell me you wouldn't mind having a cocktail with the guy.
The Jolly Roger.
Well, I mean the
the rainbow.
Yeah, the rainbow. But I think you should call it the Jolly Roger.
Okay,
No.
wait. I kind of
Drew,
agree.
you got no sense of humor. Jesus Christ, Drew!
Okay,
What
wait.
did someone suck the comedy out of you this morning?
I kind of agree with you, but the thing is like it wouldn't be on. I mean, it would just be something minor, like if I was in a parking lot and I saw some car with a rainbow on it, and then I saw the guy getting in it or getting out of it or whatever.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Adam's kidding.
No, I'm not. I mean,
But-
to some
but-
degree. Look, this is what wedding rings are
Right,
to the
all right.
heterosexual
Let's look-
community.
what is
If a guy's at a bar and he sees a woman and she's wearing that ring, he's probably not going to go up and talk to her. If he sees another woman next to her who's not sporting that ring on her left hand.
It's not the reason for the ring, but it's one of the symbols that the ring includes.
Right. Most
And
symbols are
purposeful.
Purposeful.
Yeah, I mean, think about why people carried a flag into battle. Well, you knew who the guys were on your side,
Right.
and you had a symbol that you would all rally around, and you know who to go to, and it meant something for you, and you valued it. And said
I think
something
they
about
should call
yourself,
that.
and-
We underuse the Jolly Roger these days, and no one uses it anymore.
Skull and
We don't-
crossbones?
Yeah, we don't have any pirate ships or anything anymore.
Yeah.
I think we ought to officially take the Jolly Roger.
Make that the LoveLine flag?
No, we ought to take the title and put it toward
rainbow.
the gay flag.
I see.
I don't know if it's a rainbow or not, but I think that'd be a good name for it. Unless you want to work on that, Drew. All right. Where the hell are we?
Two.
That's two. Katie.
Hi.
Hey, you're 14. What's going on there?
Yep. Me and my friend Val, we love the show. We listen to it all the time.
Thanks.
Okay. We have this friend, and she's bisexual, and she's been experimenting for 1.5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And lately,
How old is
she's
she?
been-
I'm sorry. How old is she?
She's 16.
16, and she's experimenting with guys and girls.
Yeah.
Who do we have on the phone here? Katie and
And Val.
Val. All right.
And lately, she's been kind of making us uncomfortable. Just by the way, she says things like, "Oh, wouldn't you like to do this too?" But she's saying it like she knows that we wouldn't, but she says it half seriously.
As,
and
as
it's
though
kinda
she's
making us
trying to get you in.
Yeah.
Have you told her no?
Yeah, but she keeps on persisting, and we don't want know if we should kind of gang up and confront her on it because she's really sensitive,
And we're both really close, and she's asking us both the same questions.
You guys are 14?
Yeah.
Well, she's
And-
older.
She's 16.
If I had them together, that'd be 28, wouldn't it, Drew?
Why is she hanging out with a 14-year-old?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
we're
question.
cool.
All right.
I don't know.
We've got to get past that. You guys are in the, 9th grade?
Yeah.
And she's in the 11th grade? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, see, when I was... my high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th. But the point... And Drew, you went to a place where you went from zygote to just after your master's degree. But the point is when I was in 11th grade, I sure as hell wouldn't want to be kicking around with any 9th graders.
Right.
Well, our high school is 8th grade to senior.
Right.
And it's just we kind of grew up together.
Okay.
There are a lot of people in our school.
Okay. So you want to know...
What should we try to confront her and tell her no because she's she's a pretty sensitive kid, and we don't know if she'll
Wait, you just want to tell her no, that you're not interested?
Yeah,
we've told her no when she asked us.
Here's the thing. I spent a career in high school being turned down sexually, and actually I made a run at it as an adult as well, and I never had to be confronted. It was just, I would call people 5 times, they'd never call me back. I would ask people to go out.
Yeah, it's funny how when it comes to same-sex overtures, people somehow get this feeling they're going to be dragged in, or they're going to turn them, or attacked, or
right.
that somehow it's going to overcome you, or the person's going to overpower you. None of that's going to happen.
There's
She's still
less
your friend.
chance of that happening.
Yeah, she's still your friend. Be real clear. No, I don't like this. I'm never going to do it, and I don't like you. I don't like this. coming at me all the time. It's disrupting our friendship. It's threatening our friendship. Just contain that.
That's confronting there, Drew.
Yeah,
I'm saying you don't even have to do that. You've been, you guys, wait a minute. Katie and Val?
Yeah.
You guys are cute, right?
Yeah. I suppose.
You've had, I'm sure you've had many a goofball boy come up to you in your day, and you've very delicately worked around this guy, right? I mean, you know how to tell, you know how to show someone you're not interested.
Right.
Just use that skill you've been honing with boys and put it to use on her. I don't think you have to both sit her down and turn it into, what's that going to with these drug? Yeah, an intervention. Thanks, Drew. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just work it. And if she really doesn't get the idea, then of course, if someone keeps coming at you, but 99% of the population, even the dumb part, will get it eventually.
Yeah.
People aren't really in the business of rejection, not rejection piled on to rejection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most people.
All right.
Yo, G. The phone number for LoveLine is 1-800-LOVE-191. LoveLine, right back.
All right, we're back. We're going to take our traditional 10-second timeout, and we'll be back with more LoveLine in just 10 seconds.
This is LoveLine on radio station.
Hey, LoveLine. I'm Carl Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I want to thank Judy L. Bernardino for sending me out these lovely books. It's funny, her business is on Hartsook Street, which is street I grew up on.
Oh, wow.
Well, the second street I grew up on.
Huh.
This is where I got into trouble for installing the closet into the wrong house.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, my dad and stepmom live on that street, so very small world.
Yeah.
All right, and really one of the worst-sounding street names ever.
Yeah.
Hartsook.
Yeah.
The hell is that? Listen, here's my street naming policy when I create my own utopia.
Yeah. Presidents?
I will name it after somebody, but I'm not going to name it if the guy's got some kind of goofball name.
Right. Where it sounds like
I don't care how Grady. I don't care how many reservoirs the guy's built. If he's got some, there's a street in North Hollywood called Clump Street. Now, Bernie Clump may have been a great man. I don't care.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll use the Melrose Place type of thinking, or the 90210, or the anything that Aaron Spellings ever comes up with, which is I need good Aryan names. I don't need people with goofy sounding names because, as you know, according to Aaron Spellings at least, goofy people have goofy names, and good looking people all have to be named like Dexler,
right,
and stuff like that. It's always great when they show the new cast member. He's playing Guy McKay. I'd love to be in on one of those meetings where we all just sit around and go, all right, we're adding a new cast member to 90210 this season. She's a very voluptuous woman, and she's going to be modeling and bartending at the new dig, the Peach Pit, or the wherever the hell that, the after, what is that other place?
You totally watch because you're nailing all of this
No,
stuff.
the Peach Pit is 90210, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that right. It's going to be,
And the
so
after
we got to come up with a good name for her. Let's see. How about we name her Sam McSamahan? No, but the Sam's good. But something catchy, something
we
cool.
were talking today about
it's not going to be Bernice Goldfarb.
But how the entertainment industry does not base their stories on any connection with reality. You know, they don't bother.
They don't even base their names on a connection with reality. I don't know a guy named Dex.
But isn't it interesting how they don't try to think out what really happens to people, and they come up with these fantastic stories. Like, what was the one you were telling, the movie you saw over the weekend.
Oh,
Where you couldn't even buy the premise because it just didn't. It didn't fit.
Goodwill Hunting.
It doesn't fit reality. Reality doesn't work like that.
Yeah, everyone loves Goodwill Hunting and says it's the greatest movie of the year.
I thought the reason that Shakespeare endures is he spent a lot of time thinking about what people really are like. I mean, there's fantastic circumstances, but it's real people in fantastic circumstances.
No, the guy he had the life of a longshoreman from Philadelphia, but he had the brain of Copernicus. Right. Now,
doesn't happen.
Now, guys who drink a lot of beer and haul crates for a living and, bang women and get in fights, idiots. IQ about 85. I grew up with these guys. Not one of them was a math genius. You know that, Drew? And the guys who are math geniuses, they don't haul crates, get in fights, drink beer, and bang strange women on street corners.
Because they can't.
No, they can't. Two completely different human beings. But TV and movies love that. Oh, boy.
But they don't give any thought to any human truths. Sophocles, in a fantastic story, brought out this amazing truth about humans, the Oedipal conflict. I mean, it was a fantastic story, but it had
Wait a
truth.
Minute. Jade Sophocles. This would be a name for one of these. I got to get in on one of these pitch.
Aristophanes? Who did?
Oh, the other good one that TV does is once in a while they give a guy a name that works on his business. Like if the guy's a detective, his last name will be like Hammer or Lawless or something like that.
Right.
But they always give him a regular first name because that's believable. It's always
Robert.
John Lawless was thrown off the force. Mike Hammer. Whatever the guy, they always give him a real straight first name. If he's got because they think it's not going to be believable to name the guy, make him Trigger Hammer or something like that. All right. Well, anyway, if any of the folks from TV are listening that want some help naming their new fictitious characters for the upcoming season, I would be glad to lend you my services. I would just love someone to be named Wittenberg. Never going to happen. All right. Drew, you got a call there?
Let's check back with James.
Oh, okay. James.
Yes.
What's going on? I'm picturing James smoking when the dog has a doggy cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Is Zeus there? What's the dog's name? Brute.
What?
Is Brute there?
No, he's not.
Mm-hmm. Where's Brute, by the way?
He's at my brother's house. I'm going to college. They do not allow, I hate the term pets, in the dorm rooms.
Right. It's a life partner, significant other or something.
Well, will be, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Will be?
And
Wait. What do you mean will be?
I'm living in a dorm right now. I can't guarantee
Okay.
that I'll be able to move into a place and for any significant amount of time, or I may have to move across country or something like that when I get my job. So I want to put myself in a position where I can truly support my lover without any problems.
Right, which truly supporting your lover is like $8 a month worth of kibble.
I mean, think about society and human concept of reality is basically a fiction to sort of cover our biological realities. These very intense and aggressive urges, and somehow something.
Now, by the way, James, you're good at math.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Hollywood, you hear me? You're not a brawling, womanizing, two-fisted drinking guy from the south of Philly?
No.
No. You're kind of a pinhead who humps his dog. These are the guys who are good at math. By the way, Hollywood, listen up, please.
I'll describe myself as a nerd, but I wouldn't go to pinhead.
Okay. Well, we'll call it somewhere between a nerdhead.
Okay.
All right.
Well, he wants to know why people get upset about this, so we finally are getting some comments through. So let's hear what those are, shall we?
Oh, we are? All right, James. Hang on.
You want to reset this?
Up.
People that have been listening for an hour and a half may not know what this is all about.
James is having what he calls consensual sex with his dog. His lover, which is his dog. And not only is the dog performing oral sex on James, but the dog is actually performing sodomy on James as well. And I think that the dog actually gave him a reach around once, too. It just took the paw and... okay. And also,
now I'm about to vomit.
Also, James is performing oral sex on the dog. This, by the way, is the piece of information that makes it okay with me. He is letting the dog mount him, and he is occasionally going beneath the Mason-Dixon line on the dog.
Why does that make it okay?
Well, I think you would all agree that if he was approaching the dog from the rear end, that we could all assume that there was some
coercion,
some pain, there could be something inflicted upon the dog.
Right.
The dog looks at James like, "Hey, I'm tired of humping the beanbag chair. Ooh, look at this." It's got to do wonders for your self-esteem, by the way. All right. So anyway, James does this. Wants to know why people have a problem with it. I personally don't, but that's my lifestyle. And Eric,
yeah,
you're 23.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about animal lovers,
right?
And the underdog here, James. We got.
Yeah, I'll tell you this guy takes Betty White to a whole new level with this animal loving.
I don't know. I'm sensing a little resentment from this guy. I think. I don't know. He's got some kind of built-up resentment.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, he's a very rageful person, but it's all being sublimated and then acting out.
Drew used the word rageful, by the way, which sounded sort of like raceful. But,
rageful.
Right.
I see.
And by the way, all you folks who call in and show, we can read everyone's voice. So it doesn't matter what information you give us anymore. I can tell about the tone and the timing and the inflection where someone's coming from.
It's bizarre, in fact.
Yeah.
How much we do that.
I'm labeling Eric a pedophile.
Is that right?
Eric, what's your question? Or what's your comment?
Actually, I wanted to share a story with you guys. I was in Amsterdam in, I guess it was May 95. My buddy and I were backpacking. Happened to walk into a porno shop there and started thumbing through these magazines, and we see scenes of women just getting down with these dogs. Pretty disgusting to see on paper. I can get a visual just listening to James, but it's pretty bad once you see it.
Yeah, and imagine seeing a guy with these dogs. You wouldn't you wouldn't eat any of your dehydrated food that night.
No, none of it.
All right, so this goes on. Hey, there's a fairly large market for this in our society, which is a scary one. But there are many publications that involve this, Drew, and
Really?
I'm sure there's millions of dollars worth of revenue generated from this stuff.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Will you find magazines like that in America?
I think they're illegal in the United States, although I don't think
They're
they
illegal?
count.
They're illegal?
Oh, did I say legal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you said legal, but I think
they're illegal, but they're not. Somehow you can find them in the People's Republic of New York. I don't know what it is
Well, the
about
internet
New
too, now, I
York.
guess.
What is it about New York, by the way, that whatever crap that's we deem illegal in the United States, the cops look the other way in New York. Maybe they have too much trouble with other stuff. But I've been into a few of these peep shows in New York, and there's pictures of this all over the place.
Huh.
I don't see them on my travels out here.
Huh.
But I think it's illegal. Yes, you would not find this on a newsstand, but in Europe, it certainly isn't. So this is it's bigger than we know.
Yeah.
Shane.
Hello?
Hey, you're 17.
Yeah, I got a problem. When I have sex with my girlfriend,
Yeah.
He's an idiot. Did you get a vibe like that?
Oh, yeah. But no, I thought you were hanging up because of the lack of silence in the room.
I am. Let me just yell at Shane. Shane?
yeah,
What's going on in the background there, Shane?
my brother's playing guitar. Knock it off.
Well, give him to play a little Smoke on the Water as long as he's playing the guitar.
Hello?
Yeah, well, give him to play a good riff.
Good riff.
Does he know any... No, does he know any Zeppelin?
I forget it. We can't get very far.
Well, I want to hear a Zeppelin riff.
You want to hear play Zeppelin?
Oh, he's doing Purple Haze.
He's trying.
Well, get the phone over there, would you, Shane?
All right, dude. Hold on.
All right. I wonder if Shane smoked any weed in his life. Iron Man. Yes. All right, let's play I'll Guess the Riff. All right, Shane?
All right, what do you want me to play?
Tell him to play any riff, and I'm going to guess what it is.
All right.
All right, that was Iron Man.
Yeah. All right, here you go.
All right. Nirvana?
Nope.
Don't know that one. Tell him to pick one that we know.
Okay, you got to pick one that they know. I was going to play Jimi Hendrix.
All right, well, now we heard you. Pick something other than Hendrix.
Pick something else or just Hendrix.
James.
Something they know. I know this.
All right, well, that's Nirvana.
All right, you got it.
I'm waiting for it to come in on the drums. All right, Shane, what the hell do you want to know now?
All right, okay. When I have sex with my girlfriend, afterwards, after I spread my love nog, like, it comes out.
Right.
And then she's like, it's kind of yellowish in the color.
Yeah.
And after about 10 seconds, it starts hurting.
Uh-huh. Maybe it's got some kind of infection, huh?
Your urethra hurts? Well, obviously infection is the first thing to be concerned
Well, his
with.
urethra would be his pore spout for his love nog.
Oh, God. James, there are sexually transmitted diseases called urethritis. It can be caused by gonorrhea, non-gonococcal urethritis, chlamydia. It's important to get checked if you are sexually active and you have any burning, stinging after urination or discharge or pain with ejaculation, that sort of thing. Okay?
All right. What's this one? I got another comment for James over here. Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 24.
Right.
What's going on?
Okay, I think this guy should be locked up. And I mean, I love your show, but there's a lot of young listeners that listen to your show, and you're not coming down hard enough on him. And think about how experimental you are when you're a kid, and they hear you guys who they look up to going, oh, it's not that bad. And I also disagree with you. I don't think it's like bestiality is better than pedophilia. Like, oh, well, I'd rather have him do it to a dog than a kid. Both of them are screwed up.
Okay, but let me just pose this hypothetical question for you, Sam.
What?
You have a kid?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, hypothetically, if you had a 5-year-old girl and a 5-year-old collie, which would you rather have James get hold of? Well, pick one.
Adam, neither.
Pick one. Don't tell me one isn't. Hey, don't tell me one isn't better or worse than another. You answer me that question, smartass. Tell me which one.
Adam,
tell me which one.
Your grandmother killed or your cousin?
I'd rather have my grandmother killed because she's 85 and my cousin is 32.
Don't make a joke out of this.
I'm not making a joke.
This guy should be locked up.
Listen, in one of those carrying cases.
Oh, my God.
Listen.
Adam, you're going to come back as a dog next life, and you're going to be done by someone like this. And you're going to be
yes!
Dog in my
That would be awesome.
First thing I'm going to do is pee on your carpet if I come back as a dog.
And then she's going to rub your nose in it.
Exactly.
Finally, I can lick my balls. Finally.
All right, I have nothing more to say. I mean,
All right.
we could go in circles. I just wanted to say it's really screwed up, and I totally agree with that woman on the show. She's got lots of good points, and it's not just because she's a woman. It seems like she's sane. And Dr. Drew, I mean,
Sam, we are just exploring this thing.
Oh, my God. Do you have kids, Dr. Drew?
I have kids, and
are they listening to this show, and you're
and
like, oh, it's
Hell
not
no,
that
they're
bad.
not listening to the show. You
Look,
kidding?
I'm not saying this is a good thing at all. I immediately took the position that I'm not going to get into whether this is right or wrong, because obviously it's wrong.
Well, I feel
Okay.
it's the same thing as a pedophiliac, and you guys are treating it really lightly, and it's screwed up. And, gee, I wonder, James, why people freak out. Duh.
Well, tell him why.
Because it's disgusting. It's like him saying that he's having sex with a 5-year-old
But
kid.
no, but with a 5-year-old, you are creating a soul murder of a human.
How do you know?
Sam, listen to me. This is bothering me a little bit. We don't know. I'm going to look into what it does to animals. I'm going to find out.
Kind of
But
pompous
it's
attitude
not.
that humans are better than animals and that they don't go through the same things that we do. You don't know what's going on inside a dog's head. You don't
hey,
know how
Sam,
badly you're screwing with a dog.
Let me ask you something.
What?
You vegan?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, one of those.
One of them. Yeah.
Whatever, man. I'm just saying that is so screwed up.
So you don't use any products. You don't wear leather
I don't.
shoes. You
No, I
don't have a car with a leather interior. You don't
I
do.
drive a motorcycle and no, it has no leather on it. Oh, whatever. You can't find something to like put me down for what I'm saying. I'm just telling you, it is totally screwed up, and you don't know what's going on in that dog's head, and you're taking me out to like, oh, it's just a dog.
All right, what's missing? Where's your dad? Where is he?
Don't turn the table.
Believe me.
No, we're just
Jeez.
Trying to find anything.
Let's just look.
You didn't do this to James.
Oh, yes, we did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we
And
did.
you
We
found
asked.
out he was crystal clear.
His dad is a carpenter. His mom's a poet. He told us all about his family history, and he
my
was
mom
in.
is Mother Teresa, and my dad's the Pope.
And
That
he
makes
was
me-
in massive denial about what's going on in his family. So we couldn't get anywhere. The point is, we're trying to find out what makes him, and then what makes people react to him.
Whatever. I think the woman should be running the show. You guys just totally blew this one.
Well, Sam is such an amazing debater that she wouldn't answer my question, which
because
is
it was this ludicrous question.
Sam.
Yes.
I'm going to put you on hold so I can speak for 1 second. Sam said that what James does to his dog is tantamount to pedophilia. So I then posed the question to Sam as, okay, which would you rather, your 5-year-old dog or your 5-year-old son have something done to him by James? Obviously, any sane human being could tell you that the dog would be dropped off at James's pad much faster than the 5-year-old son would be. But Sam, because she saw that there was a big hole in her logic, refused to answer my question like the coward vegan that she is. Am I right, Sam?
Can I pose a question to you? Would you like your cut off or your arm? Which is better, Adam?
I would have my arm cut off, but not my left arm, because that's the one I use to grab my dick.
All right, I'm going to go. I
right.
really did your show, but tonight you guys are way off.
All right. You see, people get very passionate about this.
But I'm still interested about the fact that it's women that get passionate about this consistently here. I'd like to hear from some men. Some men.
Some when?
I don't know. That feel strongly about this because it really seems to trigger something in women.
Okay.
I think women are more maternal when it comes to animals. We take care of animals more.
Yeah, no, men are more the exploiters in life.
But
no
you
doubt
got it
about
back to a male-female thing right away, which was that men are the exploiters. Men are detached with their sexuality, and they exploit.
By the way, it's a male dog we're speaking about. Let's be clear on that. I know it makes a difference somewhere. I just haven't quite figured it out. All right, so again, to summarize, James is 21. James is having all kinds of oral and other sex with his pet dog, Lucky. That's what I'm calling him now. And Drew and I are for it.
No.
Yes, we are.
Not for
absolutely.
No, absolutely
the girls
not.
are against it.
Absolutely
we welcome
not.
your remarks.
Welcome to the biggest show on earth. Thrills galore. The strangest freaks. The highest acrobats. And the funniest clowns.
LoveLine. We'll be right back.
We've been talking all night about James, 21, who's having what he calls serious about it, and loves a dog.
But Ann and I came up with something.
Was it Brutus? James?
Yes.
What's the dog's name?
Brutus.
Ann and I came up with an interesting thing during the break, and that is that she was saying how her animals are her children.
Mm-hmm.
And in this culture right now, women wait till fairly late to have children, and so a lot of that maternal nurturing instinct gets poured into animals. And I watched it my own wife. She had animals. There was everything until she had kids, and then they were animals. They didn't matter. They were just animals at that point. So I could see why before having kids,
Susan actually ate one of the dogs, didn't she?
She had to. If it meant protecting the kids, it wouldn't be. She wouldn't even give it a second thought.
Well, that's true. Here's a good example. You're a couple. You're together for 5 years. You have this Akita mix like James has. You love this dog. You take it with you. You bring it to the doggy hotel when you go on a vacation. Then you have a kid, and the dog takes a nip at the kid.
It's gone.
Dog's gone.
Yeah.
Bap. You got a kid now. Well, that's true. That's an interesting point.
All right, well, I have a question.
So James needs to start a family, I think is what we're saying.
James, is it mostly women that get very vehemently upset with you, or is it both?
Would you get a piece of James?
It doesn't really matter. I'd like to assure everybody that I don't go after other people's animals.
Okay.
First of all, I mean, I don't do other people's animals. And second of all, to equate it to pedophilia is grossly wrong. I would never harm a child in that way or never even conceive of it.
Yeah,
and when I said consenting animal relationships, I meant consenting. I do no coercion. It is the animal's own free will to have sex with me. I do nothing.
How do you get the dog to mount up when it comes time for that
He
part?
lets me know. I get on my hands and knees, and he hops up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's my question. You know how the dog penis swells once it's inside the vagina? Do you allow it to swell in your butt and then you're attached?
Yes.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Wait a minute, that sounds...
You have to be ready for it.
Yeah. Well,
How long are you stuck together for?
you have to be an open-minded guy, but I'm guessing if the dog's... Here's what I'm thinking, Ann. If you're on board to the part where the dog's where you're crawling around on all fours naked in the living room and the dog's mounting up, the penis swelling part isn't as big a surprise as it might be to others. You know what I mean? He's already crossed the line.
And then do you turn around or the dog turns around so you're butt to butt?
Oh, they go butt to butt?
Yeah, well, because the dog then hops off and turns around, so they're stuck together butt to butt.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know how dogs work.
Their penises are very flexible.
I don't know, kidding. Mine would crack off. My testicles would like ricochet off and break a window or something if I tried that spin move while I was in James. All right, so wait a minute. This is really getting. This is good radio. So the dog. Now, but here's the question, James.
Okay.
Do you sort of kick things off by doing the all-four sort of submissive position, or does the dog seem like he wants you to do it and then you do it?
Half the time I have to say, no, not now, and because he's actively trying to, let's say, hump your leg, as most people experience. Well, I've been trying to teach him that, wait, when I'm naked in all fours, then it's okay, but otherwise, wait, I mean. I can't do this all the time.
And so the dog, all right, I mean, you've only got one hole, James. And so the dog gets behind you, the dog gets going, and then the dog does the turnaround maneuver?
After after the knots, the swelling in the penis has entered me, yes.
Why do they do that? How's that?
It's what they do in nature.
I know, but what is that? How does that serve them?
So that the girl doesn't pull apart from the male dog, so they can breed.
Well, the swelling part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the swelling part, but I'm asking about the turnaround part.
They just do. I've seen so many pictures of it, wolf pictures, dog pictures. That's what they do. I haven't really found...
So he does that, and there's no... it's not unfortunate. I mean, it's not... and then what happens when he's done?
What?
Does he finish? Does he pull out?
After the swelling's gone down, yes.
Oh, boy.
It hurts really bad.
So you got an ass full of dog mess in you? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Now we're really getting somewhere.
I don't see... I mean, like,
No,
I
all
have
right.
sex with him. That implies that. I mean...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just didn't know. All
That's
right.
okay.
Okay. And here's a question I want to know. Is dog semen any different than people semen?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Is
It's
it?
a lot thinner, and it's clearer, and it has a bit more of a bitter taste.
Oh!
More than we need to know.
Oh, Dooley's got his face down on the console now. That's it. There'll be no masturbating for the next 10 minutes for Dooley now. You've really thrown his night off. All right, James, stay there. We'll keep... oh, okay. We have Mike over here. He's got a nice comment for James. Mike?
Yeah.
You're 39?
I got two comments.
Uh-oh.
One for James. I got a Doberman that loves to play tug-of-war.
Really?
So if you want to borrow him for that, great. The other one is, look, you bring up whether or not you'd rather have your child or your dog go with this guy.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a child?
Pardon?
Do you have a child?
I do.
Okay.
I have a 10-year-old. Now, first of all, if this guy's sick enough to do this dog, it's an issue of control.
Mm-hmm. You're worried he's going to do something else also.
Right now, the dog, dogs don't understand right from wrong. The dog does whatever.
Right.
This guy's going to move on to a child, to an adult, to whatever. He's going to move up.
Yeah.
Sick, he needs help.
Oh.
Not a matter of putting him down. He needs help.
Well,
I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
I think we're all on the help train, Mike. I think we could all
But you're talking about
agree to that.
Is better, a dog or a kid. That is a stupid analogy.
Well, here's what happened. Our listener brought it up.
I heard it.
And I just sort of drove the point home. But
the point is this guy needs help. He's sick.
Yeah.
He is going to move on. And these are where people like Bundy and Bishop, and they move on. They move to children.
Elvin
Boys
Bishop, the
or
guy.
girls.
Who's Bishop?
Bishop's from Salt Lake. He killed, I think it was 31 children. He raped and molested, and
Really?
And I mean, this guy was really bad.
This Bishop's got to fire his publicist because I don't know Bishop.
And he
Do you know?
started having sex with.
dead.
He started by having
for
sex
the
with
death penalty.
He started by having sex with animals.
Oh, he did. He did. This guy was sick.
Now I know, if you heard what I said earlier, I know that people that who are going to kill other people often start by mutilating animals.
They do. First, they start with a dog. They find out, hey, it doesn't hurt to kill them. They
Right.
move on. This guy now is just playing with the dog.
All right. Well,
I didn't know anything about this, so that's why I was going to go look it up. So before I began commenting about it, so.
Mike, you make a valid point. I do agree. And by the way, in society, this is why when we see somebody who's doing something that's sort of deviant or antisocial, I think ultimately the message is this may come back and this guy may haunt us a little bit.
He may come back and haunt all of us.
Right. All right,
So
Mike.
he needs to be dealt with now before,
All right, it's a valid point, Mike. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he say yes, or did he just belch into the phone before he hung up? All right. Let's take a call here. Suzanne,
Yes,
you're 28.
I'm 28. I love your show.
Thank you.
I've been dying to call you guys up and ask you this one question. I asked all my friends, and we all want to know, you could be the most beautiful woman, and why is it that men look at other women?
It is certainly within. Wait, why do dogs hump furniture? As long as we're on the the topic.
The biology of the male is designed to have him seek multiple partners, and to the extent that our whole social structure is developed in such a way as to deal with the underlying biology. Men don't naturally stay in monogamous relationships. They're quite capable of it, and they'll be very gratified by it. But they have a biological tendency to at least, maybe not act on it, but to sort of go in that direction. And if you want, I mean, James is a male, not a female. The guy we've been talking to all night. Female will not do what James does.
No, and let me say this to keep on the dog analogy, which is like dogs, men need to be trained. When you have a dog that's untrained and another dog goes walking down the street, the dog's instinct is to jump on it and either bite it or hump it. Men have that same instinct. Now, you'll never get rid of
smell its butt.
Smell its butt, bite it, hump it, and so forth. Now, you'll never break the animal of the instinct, but I think you can break them of the behavior. This is the difference. Now,
right.
here's
when you break go ahead. Go ahead.
So when you take the dog down the street and the other dog goes walking by, the trained dog's ears perk up, and it looks, but you give it a little yank on the leash, and it keeps walking. You know what I'm saying?
And which dog is happier?
Probably the dog with the yank on the leash.
The trained dog. The trained dogs are much happier. They really are.
Right. So it's up to your women to.
I talk about the dog being potty trained. The one that's constantly messing is not happy, and he wants to make his owner happy. Doesn't know how.
Right. But
when he gets trained, he's happy.
But women, do not blame the guy whose ears perk up when the bitch goes walking by at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Boy, they can't help that. They cannot. Men can. That is just in your genes. I mean, you might as well convince him to hold his hand over an open flame. Or
the same,
not
right.
Jump if he opened the shower curtain and there was a rattler in there. You might as well try to whoop him of those instincts, too. But what you can do is if he acts on him, that's when you go after him.
Yeah, that's not right.
I've been married for 3 years, and he does this. I catch him every once in a while.
Well, again, a guy hopefully can be sensitive to your feelings and or apologize or really you get a sense that he doesn't really mean anything by it. But if it's something overt where he doesn't care about how it affects you, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I think she needs to go buy a new choke chain.
All right, Suzanne.
Huh?
Go buy a new choke chain.
Well.
Or
one.
cut him off. Put him on the beanbag for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Put him on the sofa leg. Straighten him out a little bit.
I'm just thinking, maybe James wants to call back on Lycus' show, too. Mike, what do you think? Maybe good for that show, too.
All right. This is going to be on Best of Lycus already. You thought it was just his show when he was for Best of? No. All right. Comment for Adam.
No, let's get some other stuff. But let's go break first.
All right. Wayne.
Hi.
You're 44.
Yeah. Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hey, how you doing? You have a 17-year-old daughter, had an affair with a 5-year-old guy. Where did you go wrong? Okay, this is a good question. Hold on a second, Wayne. We're going to go to break, and then we'll explain where you went wrong.
LoveLine will be right back, dude.
Hey, LoveLine. Well, I was going to give the phone number out, but forget about that. We'll just keep moving ahead here. Wayne.
Wayne?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
All right, so 44, got a 17-year-old daughter, dating a 25-year-old guy.
Yeah, she worked as a waitress at a restaurant, and he was a cook, and I don't know, I think he's like the predator type. I don't really know him. I'd like to know him for a while, like for a couple minutes anyhow, but...
What's her history like?
Well, we've been together, mom and dad, the family the whole time. So I work a lot. I'm gone a lot, but her mom's a teacher, and I trusted her mom's judgment with educating and...
How much were you gone?
Well, I work nights most of the time. I'm gone about 12 hours a day.
Every day?
Yeah. Well, or weekdays.
Sometimes when women hook up with older guys, it's a little bit of a fine papa.
But it's not,
isn't it?
This
isn't really bizarrely old, though.
Yeah, this is not way out of her period.
You got to realize 17-year-olds look at other 17 and 8-year-old guys as grossly immature.
Was 16 and he was 25 when it started.
That's a big year there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is that such a big year?
Because it's 17 could be almost out of high school. So
yeah, that's true.
And she's had other relationships?
No, this is the only one, at least that we're aware of, and we're gonna go to therapy, the three of us, and try and work something out. I just
so you, your wife, and the 25-year-old cook are all going to go in.
That's right.
You know this guy's going places too. He's cooking.
Yeah.
Right.
How long have they been together, the two of them?
Oh, probably 8 months or so.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're making a relationship.
And well, we trusted her, and she lied to us. And
what did she lie to you about? His age?
Well, where she was. We caught her New Year's Eve. She was supposedly at a girlfriend's house, and we got her girlfriend's number, and her girlfriend was supposedly at our house. And one of those kind of deals.
Do you have any other children?
Yeah, we have an older daughter.
Everything going okay there?
Yeah.
Does she have any input into this younger daughter, the sister?
No, she doesn't really date much either. I don't know.
How old is she?
She's 18.
Maybe she doesn't tell you about it.
Well, maybe.
Anything? Is there any? How have things been growing up for them? I mean, you guys enjoy yourselves as a family?
Yeah, we take vacations together. I'm not the most affectionate or talkative person in the world, I guess. So, I'm trying to look at maybe where I went wrong or what I did or should have done.
Are they able to talk about their feelings with anybody in the family?
Probably more with their mom.
Does mom encourage that kind of thing?
Somewhat, not a whole lot.
What's this have to do with having sex with dogs? That's really my question.
Nothing.
All right, well, here's...
I'm just curious on when, like what to look for with the therapy and when we can feel like we can trust her and when we...
Therapist? Or your daughter?
The daughter, and when we think that we've got this sorted out. I mean, you just trust the therapist?
Yeah, you're going to have to, just make sure you're with somebody good and well-recommended, and you're going to have to just do the work. This person may well recommend individual therapy for your daughter or for one of you, or they might say the marriage counseling and then maybe counseling for the daughter. It depends. It depends what the situation is. They may tell you, just give you some suggestions and see you back in many, many weeks.
Yeah, Wayne sounds like a pretty decent guy. I don't see how he could have gone too terribly wrong by virtue of the fact that he's calling and asking and that they're going into therapy and so forth.
But it is going to be something of the order of the emotional availability of the parents. You kind of feel that from Wayne, can't you?
Well, Wayne is like a guy. You know, guys have trouble hugging and nurturing and doing all that stuff.
Unfortunately, they need to be brought into that sphere by women. And if mom is not real tuned into that stuff, then the kids don't get much of it.
Yeah.
And that's what's called empathic failure.
Too bad we can't get gay men in
Into the
these
whole mix.
relationships.
Yeah, that would do
Now,
it.
here's a guy. You know, these guys, they're all hugs and kisses and going to help dress you for the prom. And I mean, I'm sure it has its drawback somewhere in there. Possibly them being repulsed by women sexually. But I think if they could get past that, I mean, you really got some good rearing going on here. Everyone needs a gay uncle, like Paul Lynde in Bewitched. And, you blink, boom, here comes this gay guy, and he comes around and hangs out a little bit. You know?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do we say?
Ron.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 25.
How you doing? I got two questions. My main question was something to do with my girlfriend, but I did have a question about the guy that was on there, James.
Mm-hmm. James, the dog lover?
Yeah, if it was like a female dog and he did something with her, could the dog get pregnant?
No.
No chance of that?
No chance of that.
Okay. Now my problem
Why
with my
not?
girlfriend...
There are intraspecies barriers.
There are.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, the God screwed up a few things, but there's a few things he saw.
He got right.
He got right. He really he really didn't miss the boat on this one. Imagine the kind of world we'd be living in.
Oh boy.
The centaur. I don't know what the hell it would be. What part James, part collie walking around.
But there have been many, many generations of opportunity for all sorts of mixes. Think about that. Anyway, Ron, what's your question?
Sorry.
Ron, what's the question?
Okay, now, I've been going out with my girlfriend for about a year now, and no matter how much I've threatened to break up, begged, no matter what, she still won't give me oral sex.
Oh.
So it's been a year now. I haven't cheated on her.
How old is she?
She's 18.
Here's
Hold on,
are you a cook?
Say again?
Are you a cook?
No, not at all.
There was a what I like to call the 8 to 15 month pause before the age was given out there.
Yeah,
I might be going with just turning 17.
Say again?
What do you-
No, she's definitely 18. She was 17 when I met her.
All right.
I was a bouncer at a bar at the time.
Okay. You can spot those fake IDs a mile away.
Yeah, but she had a really cute smile.
So she's not into this, but you're into all kinds of other sex with her.
Well, I mean, the sex is pretty good, but with the exception of the no oral sex.
Right.
I
Now-
do it for her, but
right.
she doesn't do it for
Have
me.
you ever, you better knock that off now, by the way, now that you know. There'll be nothing in return. When you ask her, now here's something that I want to alert all women to. Guys don't care. There's no such thing as a botched blowjob. You know what I mean? You can botch many things in life. You can ruin a souffle. You can screw up a diamond. You can botch a surgery, but you cannot botch a BJ. That's going to be my bumper sticker. Forget about the gay
sure about that one?
flag.
Have teeth.
She may be 17 years old or 18 years old. She's young. Maybe she thinks that this is something that she's not real confident about. Perhaps she looks at you as an older, experienced guy who's had this before, and she's scared she's not going to stack up. What do you think about that theory, Ron?
I don't know. I mean,
I just think she's
never tried
She
it.
doesn't like this. She's repulsed by it. She doesn't.
Has she ever answered? I mean, have you ever asked her? Have you ever confronted her?
Constantly.
They just won't like it.
Constantly.
Well, I know, but what I'm just sort of leading to what does she say when you do that?
She says it's gross.
Yeah, it's repulsed by it. She doesn't want to do it. That's the way it goes. He's not going to change that.
You got to find a new woman, Ron.
Yeah, but she's gorgeous, and I do love her. But
Well, then you're going to have to get over this. That's the way it is.
Is she real sound sleeper?
It'd be a disaster to have a relationship end over this. I'd hate to see that.
Well, forget about the oral sex part. Let's just look at the symbolism here, Drew. You got a guy saying, hey, this is something I really enjoy. Do you think you could take 5 minutes out of your schedule and give me a little help?
She's 18. She's repulsed by it. Maybe in a few years she'll come around. But if he really cares about her and is easy and develops it in a nurturing way, maybe.
By the way, the 2 years minus the BJ is like 8 years with the BJ on the time schedule.
Let's say goodnight to James.
It's like dog years.
Yeah, think of that.
I see James sort of sitting in his
smoking jacket,
like an ascot smoking jacket with a pipe and
a pocket protector.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm just sitting here playing a computer game, waiting for you guys to get
around.
I have a few questions to ask.
Go ahead. We have like 1 minute.
Thank you. I really have to understand why people do get upset, but for me, those are mute questions. I mean, the animals, they're consenting. I'm not forcing them to. I would never, I'm
But James,
pretty well adjusted.
James, let me just say this. I think what people's real concern is whether they can articulate it or not, but what they feel in their bones is, hey, this guy's real antisocial, and the guy's real deviant, and he has the makings of someone who 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now is going to move on and do other scary things that might involve people.
Right.
And obviously you're going to say that that's not going to happen, but they would argue that this is so deviant and so antisocial that it almost has to develop into something bigger and scarier.
Right.
And that's Drew and I sort of feel that way as well.
And that indeed James must be suffering in his emotional world. He is not aware of it because he detached from it totally, and that he would be benefited from some help, which is what Mike said a couple
So should he see a therapist or a veterinarian?
All right.
Okay.
Hello, is this LoveLine? I have a problem with my stool.
Hello, LoveLine. I have a problem with his stool, too.
The phone number for LoveLine is 1-800-LOVE-191.
I gotta go. LoveLine, I'll be right back.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Mercifully.
Yes, it does. All righty, then. So, that has been LoveLine. Thank you all for listening, and until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been LoveLine. The views expressed on LoveLine are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station.
And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. LoveLine is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle.
Now, please listen to this station longer.